Hi, my name is Sean. I'm a pinsetter mechanic. I'm certified to work on Brunswick A-2 and jetback pinsetters. This is going to be the next video in the adjustment series, and we are going to do adjustment 4, which is the pit cushion lift rod adjustment. So let's get started. So of course, like any other adjustment, first thing we're going to do is shut off the machine. So what you want to do to make sure, okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to loosen these jam nuts, but you want to make sure that before you do this adjustment that there is no support on the pit cushion, because if there's if the vertical lift rods are supporting the pit cushion, then your adjustment here is not going to be right. All right, so the pinsetter is going to be at 0 degrees. That's where we're going to start. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, you're going to loosen your jam nuts here and here, okay? And you're going to make your measurement, okay? And you're going to measure from each of the pivot points in the center. So where each of the nuts are, you're going to measure from the center to center. And that should say, okay, they say 52 and 23/30 seconds, but go closer to, you know, that's about 52 and 3/4, so you're going to go to 52 and just before 3/4. These are too short, so they need to be lengthened. At least this one does. Okay, so this side's fine, so we're going to make sure we go and tighten our jam nuts on this one, and then we'll go and check the other side. So same story. This needs to be lengthened. Okay. Call that good. I'm going to tighten up these jam nuts and move on to the next step. Alright, so now that we have our 52 and 23/30 seconds and there's no support on the pit cushion, next thing we're going to do is the adjustment that moves the pit cushion on the vertical lift rods. So with the pinsetter still off, the rake board in its raised position, we're going to loosen jam nuts on the vertical lift rods. If you're doing this adjustment, you're most likely going to already have done that. So yeah, make sure your jam nuts on the vertical lift rods are both loosened. You have one down there and then one up here. You can see this one was definitely being supported, so take that completely off. You're going to move these until the pit cushion goes down and doesn't move anymore. What I like to do is I like to actually raise it just a little bit. Like when it starts to raise, I like to move it till then, so that way I can see how close I am to everything. Okay, so it's a little bit up, so I'm gonna go ahead and move it down. And you can check with the motion right here at your links. So when those stop moving, then you know that you're good. And once you get the motion to stop, go down, and then another half turn. So basically you want your links to sit flat on here, and when you move this, you want it to basically have no more play in the link and the bushing that's in there. So see how those don't move anymore when you push down? That means that you have it where it needs to be. So you're gonna go ahead, make that push. It's good. Now, I constantly check it because you always want to make sure that this isn't too loose or too tight, because if it's too loose, then it's not going to raise enough for a ball to go in there. And if it's too tight, then it's going to be supported on the lift rods, which you don't want it to do. There's a reason it's supported here on the mount, okay? So be constantly kind of double checking it, like it's too loose. So then you go up till it just starts barely start to graze, and then you go just down just a little bit more. And that's it. Both sides look good, so we're gonna call it good there. So after you do that adjustment, then you're gonna wanna go ahead and tighten up your jam nuts. Make sure that doesn't move after all that hard work you just put into doing this. As a check, what you'll wanna do is you'll wanna go ahead and trip the trigger link that's up on your shotgun. In this case, I don't have a trigger link on it right now, so I have to trip the shotgun manually. Okay, after tripping that, you want to take a ball and you want to check the gap here, okay? You want at least a minimum of an 1/8. If you can do more and it doesn't affect your rake, then that's good. Me, I can fit about a finger in there. So I'm gonna call that good. So the next thing. So be sure that you do not move your vertical lift rods to obtain your gap here. You want to do your shaker board height adjustment, which is adjustment 23, which the video for that will be linked in my description of this video once I have it uploaded. Okay, so we're gonna recap. Okay, you're gonna make sure that everything's at 0, your rake is up before doing this adjustment. Power is off, of course. You're gonna make sure that you get these your vertical lift rods moved to where they're not supporting the pit cushion. After doing so, then you're going to go to your rods here, and you're going to go from center point to center point on the pivot, and you're going to obtain your 52 and 23 30-seconds gap. If you don't know what that is, it's a little bit less than 52 3/4. Once you have that, then you'll move on to your vertical lift rods, and you'll move those until the pit cushion stops moving in a downward position, then go another half turn on the lift rods. After that, you will unlock the shotgun and make sure that you have a minimum of an 1/8 inch gap between a ball and your pit cushion. If you do not move your vertical lift rods. Continue on to adjustment 23. That's basically it. It's one of the simpler but more crucial adjustments that you have for this, and you want to make sure that your rake adjustment is good before you go to do this adjustment. So I will link that video in the description below, so that way you can get your rake board height and your rake sweep hook. You can get that right before you start messing with your pit cushion, because your pit cushion acts as a counterweight to your rake. So if your rake's not adjusted right, then this adjustment won't be right either. So that's the video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I will answer them to the best of my knowledge. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.